The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
You're listening to Pillow Fight, a comedy and culture podcast hosted by me, Yamini Nambimadom. I've invited a guest or two to come and gossip like we're at a high school slumber party. We'll start off with a little game of Fuck, Marry, Kill, where the choices are buzzworthy moments in pop culture. Then, we'll move into a couple rounds of Would You Rather based on world news. We'll finish the night off with some juicy Truth or Dare. Feel free to grab a friend and play along in this Pillow Fight.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
Is yours made of
We
goose?
got feathers flying everywhere.
Mine's made of goose.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
Today on Pillow Fight, I'm joined by Joseph Wiltzer. Originally a friend of me, Joseph quickly became one of my best friends in college. He's originally from Montreal, but currently studies video games in grad school in Chicago. You can find him on Twitter @_waterslut and on Instagram @JoeWiltz. On this episode of Pillow Fight, we catch up on all the music industry drama, bond over not celebrating Christmas, and get kind of really gross.
Fuck. Marry? Kill. Fuck, marry, kill.
For the Fuck, Marry, Kill, I chose like 3 little music-related moments that are kind of relevant right now. Number 1, last week you tweeted this, and it sent me down a spiral. You tweeted, "Disturbed remembering Jack Antonoff writes these amazing emotional songs, and they are about Lena Dunham." So that kind of sent me into a spiral where I found out that there are whole conspiracy theories that Lorde had a secret love affair with Jack Antonoff when they were working on Melodrama. And I saw like a full PowerPoint about it that had like all the lyrics analyzed to every song on Melodrama.
I've seen the PowerPoint.
And there's like references to Jack apparently, and also like people say that Lena Dunham doesn't speak to Lorde anymore. So there's definitely a whole underground theory about a love triangle between the 3 of them. It's very, very weird threesome pairing. Number 2, Miley Cyrus just dropped her album Plastic Hearts. And we already talked about this. We loved it. I'm here for her bringing back rock and roll. But if we look at the trajectory of Miley's career, she started off as a Disney girl who did Hannah Montana, and then she had like a pretty turbulent career where they tried to make her one of the pop girlies, and it was like clearly not really sticking. And now after like a bunch of personal life changes and controversies, she's finally doing what she was meant to do, you know, more raw, authentic music. And I think this timeline maps out really eerily onto the Ashley O episode of Black Mirror, where Miley played a pop star who was being like controlled and manipulated by her team. And then when she was finally like set free, she started this like raw career. And then number 3, The Weeknd had one of the biggest albums of the year and like 2 number 1 singles, but he didn't get any Grammy noms. And everyone was really weird, like confused why. And then The Weeknd went on Twitter and he said, "The Grammys are corrupt and I demand transparency." And a bunch of other artists, including Elton John, came to his defense. So to just summarize that, the 3 Fuck, Marry, Kill options are the Lorde, Lena, and Jack love triangle, the Miley is Ashley O concept, and The Weeknd being snubbed at the Grammys on Speaking Out. What would you do?
Wow. First, let me say, this feels incredibly targeted because you know that I love all 3 of these people and these things. So it's going to be very difficult to pick one to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Unfortunately, although Lorde, as everyone knows, one of my absolute favorite artists, I am going to have to kill the Jack Antonoff, Lorde, Lena Dunham love triangle because just the thought of even having to have sex with Lena Dunham 1 in the 3 times, if it's, or God forbid, in a marriage with her, I absolutely couldn't. If this was just Jack Antonoff and Lorde, I would certainly be marrying. It would be no question about it. But with Lena there, I don't think I could do it. Oh, I want to fuck The Weeknd. So I guess I'll do that one. And that's, I feel bad about that one because I really love that album. At the beginning of quarantine, it was angsty, it was moody, it was authentic. And that I feel like really got me through March, April, May.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like so distraught when the Grammy nominations came out and he wasn't on them. Like, what were you thinking? But yeah, so that would be the fuck. And I have to marry the Miley album because I've been a huge Miley fan since my inception. I watched Hannah Montana religiously as a child.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be here so bad with the secret life and the glamour and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like she just got like so rooked in the Wrecking Ball era with bangers, because I think if she'd released that now, like it would be like no big deal. Like in the WAP era, being naked on that Wrecking Ball swinging back and forth would be pretty tame. But I remember when I was like 12 and that came out, it was like so scandalizing for people. And people wanted to boycott her and they didn't want to go. The parents of my friends didn't want them to go see her concert. I remember that very well. But regardless, yeah, I would marry Plastic Hearts and Miley in that whole run. And of course, oh my God, Ashley O was like one of my favorite recording artists of last year. Those songs from the Black Mirror episode, they were made to be like junk. Like everyone would realize they were junk, but they were so good.
They were so good. It's like the music in A Star Is Born, like the pop music in A Star Is Born. That
Hair, body, face.
Yeah, like all of Lady Gaga's Ally, like those songs like snapped, and they were supposed to be like bad, like trashy pop, and I was like, this is really good. Yeah, I would do the same three things as you, but I think for like slightly different reasons. I would kill the Lord, Lena, Jack, Antonoff love triangle just because yes, Lena Dunham, I don't want to be in a sexual or romantic relationship with her at all. I also just feel like Lord and Jack Antonoff, like I want them to just have a working relationship. I don't really want them to fuck because I think that they are a really good pair and I don't want them to mess it up. What they have, you know, business wise, because they created a really good album and I don't want that to mess things up. And also I read somewhere that she has a girlfriend now, and I'm curious to like lean into this Lord is queer narrative and see where that goes. So I'm gonna kill the Lord, Lena, Jack love triangle. I am also gonna fuck the Weeknd Grammys drama because I think the Weeknd is like fun and sexy and hot, like his music is hot. And I think like standing up for yourself is also like really hot when like people. I thought it was funny because Justin Bieber was like mad that his song was nominated for a pop song. Yummy, okay, Yummy
that was so funny. The statement he put out.
Yeah, so Yummy got a Grammy nom. That stupid fucking song, Yummy, that did not
cancel it all.
Didn't deserve anything at all. But it got a pop nom instead of an R&B nom, which and he was like upset about it and he released a statement. And I was like, there's just white men can do this, you know? But like the Weeknd got snubbed majorly and he stood up for himself and he like basically called them out and like that's hot. So I would fuck that. And I would marry Miley's Ashley O situation because I've always really liked her, and I feel like sometimes it's been hard to be a fan of Miley because she had that phase where she was just like appropriating so much of Black culture and stuff, and I was like, this like not only is this a bad look, it's also not for you. Like this is not your thing, you know?
Yeah, Bangers had some rough moments.
Yeah, and then that like was it the MTV performance that
with
she did?
Robin Thicke? Yeah, same era.
Nuts. I didn't love it. She's like said some weird things. It's clear like she's been in the industry forever. Like I loved Can't Be Tamed. Like I felt like that was like kind of a leap pushing into this, but I don't think like her people were ready for that. And I'm glad that like she has like Stevie Nicks, Joan Jett, Billy Idol on this album. It's so good and I love it. And I like have not stopped listening to it since it came out. And so I would marry that situation. And I feel like so the Ashley O episode is based on Free Britney, apparently I learned. And I just think Britney and Miley, like these pop girlies, like we should just let them do their shit. So I would marry that situation. And I hope this keeps going like this.
I just want her to be happy, especially with her recent divorce and then the Slide Away release 4 days after her divorce, or separation rather, not divorce.
Yeah.
She didn't offer a lot of transparency on that, why they got back together. She released Malibu, so I guess that's why they got back together.
Yeah.
But then why they broke up, she alluded to some alcoholism and some pills abuse on the side of Liam Hemsworth, which to what extent is true, I don't know. But if Miley says it's true, I believe it.
I think they were both bad for each other. I think I love them so much. And I think as I've gotten older, I've learned not that I shouldn't have loved them. And I feel like it was my own kind of relationship that I learned from. Because I loved them. I was like, they're so cute together. They're so like cutesy and fun and happy. And I loved the last song. But then I was like, I really just feel like they are keeping each other from growing. And it's not good. You know, I can respect them both as people and not want them to be together. And I think I also like about Miley that she's like really honest about not being like the best person ever, you know?
It should have been a red flag for her when he got cast as Gale in the Hunger Games, which I think is a really good parallel for how he was in their relationship. Because at the beginning of the Hunger Games, Gale is like everyone likes Gale. He's hot. He gives Katniss food when she's starving to death. He looks after her sister and her cat while she's away, right? But then he's such an asshole for the rest of the series, and he just tries to ride the coattails of having been a good person. So maybe it was like Liam in the last song was really good to Miley and he loved her, but then they did break up. Like, it's possible that he was super shitty, but then, I don't know, maybe there was some like Mockingjay moment later in the relationship where she thought maybe he could be good again, but then it turns out he was not.
Yeah, I just believe your ex should never be your next. You know?
You're right.
If you broke up once for any reason that wasn't like long distance or time, even still, long distance or time, I think if you could still make it work if you really were committed to it. But if it was any other reason, those reasons aren't going away when you get back together. Like, they're still there, you know?
But as Miley says on this new album, and I don't remember what song, everybody changes. So I do think that it's possible for people to change and to be more compatible than they once were and to understand the problems. But I do agree in general, like, even as much as these changes do happen, they're not happening that fast.
Yeah. And that requires like a lot of therapy and self-awareness and like, I think it's hard to work on yourself when you're in the public eye so much because you like exist to serve people. You're not like existing for yourself.
And can I say, I want changing the topic a little bit, I want the home address of every person on the Recording Academy who voted for Yummy and who did not vote for The Weeknd. Because I will personally be at their door. I will be slitting their throats to give this like, and Justin Bieber's Canadian, I know, so I should like him more than I do. But I just think he's such a dick. And Hailey Baldwin deserves better.
I agree. Hailey Baldwin deserves better. When she left Shawn Mendes for Justin Bieber, I was like, girl, what are you doing?
Then Shawn Mendes and him released a song together last week.
Yeah, I just listened to it actually. That was very weird. Shawn Mendes, he's like, to me, like better Justin Bieber, like nicer. I mean, you know,
also Canadian.
I like him more than Justin Bieber. Oh, okay. Yummy was, I think, probably the worst song I've heard in years.
The music video for Yummy was so atrocious.
Yeah, you got that yummy, 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 yummy.
Just sitting in the banquet hall eating the food. It was uninspired. It was not as campy as he wanted it to be. He's not a good actor, so he's not good in his own music videos. I did not like the Justin Bieber album either that came out.
The only one I liked was what was the song? There's a TikTok dance to it. It was like,
I don't remember. It was the one with Quavo.
It was like, you go like this.
It's a podcast, Yamini. If you dance, they can't see.
I know they can't see it. It was like Shay Mitchell did it. It's like you get it in the whip in the side. Let me look it up.
If Shay Mitchell did it, I like it though.
Justin Bieber's song.
TikTok
dance. I'm going to find it out. Come Around Me. That was the song.
Cum spelled C-U-M, hopefully.
No.
It's too bad.
No, that's the illusion, but Come Around Me lyrics. Let's look into it if it is actually a song about. Okay, yes, because the dance goes to who taught you how to jab stick? You a fool with it, love the way you fool with it. And that's definitely about his dick.
Certainly.
Right? And they talk about how they just have sex all the time. Him and Haley Baldwin, they talk about that in interviews. They waited until marriage and now they have sex all the time.
Oh, I forgot. He's like quite religious.
Oh yeah, and did you hear his pastor, who is like was like the head of this big like mega church, got like kicked out for cheating on his wife?
Well, there were all the rumors that Justin was sleeping with the pastor.
Really? I don't remember that.
There were all these pictures of them together, like the pastor. There's one where his hand is on like Justin's back.
Justin like moved across the country to live with him, right? Or like live near him.
Listen, anyone can be with anyone, Yamini.
Yeah, anyone can.
That
be with
would be
anyone.
fun though if it came out in like 5 years that he'd been sleeping with the pastor.
Yeah. What if like Justin Bieber is the gay one and Shawn Mendes is the straight one all along?
I don't buy it.
Yeah, this song is definitely about sex.
I'm waiting for the collapse of the Camila Cabello Shawn Mendes relationship.
I think it's being put on because by their agents or whatever, because it definitely makes her look better, you know?
Yeah, I guess he's very likable.
Like it's a good PR move for her.
Yeah, especially after, I guess she wasn't ousted from Fifth Harmony. She left herself, but those girls do not speak highly of her now.
No. And people, I don't know anyone who is like a Camila Cabello diehard stan. And if I met one, I don't think I would like them. I just don't like her. She's definitely annoying. She's definitely like racist and a little bit weird. And being with Shawn Mendes like is like, oh, well, like she's with someone so sweet and nice. Like maybe he'll like make her be better. And like it's not him. It's like not affecting him at all. Nobody cares.
I don't need her to ever release music again.
Yeah.
It'll happen, unfortunately.
I don't know why she was a star of Fifth Harmony when I think like Lauren Jareggi and Normani were like so much more talented to me.
You're so right. And it's like Normani's now doing solo stuff and her solo stuff is so much better.
Yeah. It's just, I don't really get it. I don't like it. It's like, I wanted to compare it to One Direction, but I realized it's not really true because I guess Harry is the most famous from One Direction. But who's that weird one? Liam Payne. Yeah, Harry Styles and Liam Payne do not get along.
Well, and I think Liam Payne is like homophobic, maybe.
Oh yeah, definitely. He said he doesn't want Harry around his children because of the way he dresses.
Harry can't be around his children, but he can be on the cover of Vogue.
Yeah.
The first man ever on the cover of Vogue. My mother was very excited about that for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, also it's like he's not gay, right? Like
he's probably, I mean, he doesn't use any labels, but I would say he's queer. He said that he's kissed boys before.
Yeah. I think it's funny that he's become the kind of figurehead of this like queer movement. It's really funny to me.
No, he's the figurehead of the like alt boys that smoke weed and like to put nail polish on.
See, but I think there's a distinction. Some of those people are really horrible. There's like Lil Huddy.
Yeah.
The Lil Huddy ones. And then there's like Harry Styles, who I think is actually like genuinely probably a very good person.
The divides within the community. Yeah.
Harry Styles represents, I think, what bisexual women like in men.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. That's a bisexual girl's type of boy, you know?
He's certainly your type of boy.
Yeah. But I think in general, I think bisexual women like boys like play around with femininity, you know?
That's possible. I mean, you're the expert on the subject.
On being a bisexual woman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I am. Wait, I want to talk about this though. Speaking of bisexual women, remember when Miley Cyrus made that comment about how like I thought I had to be a lesbian because like I hadn't met a good guy, and then she met Cody Simpson, and I realized I didn't have to be a lesbian.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, unfortunately, who made her be with Cody Simpson at all?
I don't know.
Her.
It was weird.
It was a rebound.
Very weird. Who was the girl she was with right before that? What's her
Um,
name?
hold on, I'm looking it up. Miley Cyrus, girl she was with, is what I'm typing into Google. And Caitlyn Carter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Google.
Caitlyn
The
Carter.
algorithms are far too powerful for my liking.
Last summer, when she broke up with Liam and then got with Caitlyn, it felt like a big week for the bisexuals.
Oh yeah. I think it was a big week for everyone. Everyone had something to love. And I personally think on Golden G-String, I think when she says in the first line that she's putting her hand, after she says she got the golden G-string, she's putting her hand in the fire. I personally think that's a vaginal reference because it was so hot for her to be with a woman.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation of love.
Whoa.
I know. I love to make the girlies think.
I think lately there have been more and more like celebrities writing songs about fame and like their feelings about it. Like Lady Gaga did Free Woman, and then Golden G-String is kind of about that. And I think it's like cool and interesting because I think being a woman and being an entertainer, people kind of feel like they have like access to every part of your life, and it's really I'm not saying like these people have like hard lives. So I don't think they have like super hard lives, but they're not, you know.
I think they have hard lives. I think it's incredibly difficult to be a celebrity.
Yeah, I think they have privilege, but they do have hard lives. Yeah. I kind of like I like when people are just like honest about feeling unable to kind of live up to what the media wants them to do and be.
It's a nice reminder that they're people and not like flashy objects for us to gawk at and then go back to our lives where they aren't there.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember last year I was like, I feel like I should stop consuming media that's just like has no substance besides celebrities being celebrities.
Interesting.
You know? Like
you wouldn't follow the Kardashians anymore? Unless
they were like doing something relevant.
Like running for president?
I meant more like videos or like just, you know, like celebrity lip syncing or whatever that kind of nonsense is. Just because it's like, we're so obsessed with like celebrity for celebrity's sake, and it's very weird. But
I know it's an interest in like the power and status around what they do as opposed to like the music or the art itself.
I also think like this 2020 election utilized celebrities in such a like revolutionary way. It was like cool in some ways, but also just like kind of scary. And
like the Gal Gadot Imagine video.
The Gal Gadot Imagine video was domino number 1. And then there was those like comedians getting naked video. That was like domino number 2. Like there's going to be another one very soon. I'm sure of it. It's just like they're so out of touch and confusing. Yeah, it's just weird to see celebrities like comment on stuff.
I agree that the Hollywood elite, it feels quite out of touch. I feel like I was open my eyes with all the Ellen stuff that happened at the beginning of quarantine, and then her responses to it, like the video she took in her like mansion in her palatial estate, where she was like, for the viewers at home, I'm holding like a camera in front, like I'm doing a selfie, where she was like, I'm in prison. I'm trapped in this prison. And I'm thinking of all the actual prisoners with COVID who are in their real prisons. Yeah. And it was just such a disconnect.
I remember Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin went live with like Kendall Jenner or something, and they were just like talking about how much it sucks and like they can't like go to like Bootsy Bellows and like all these little clubs in LA anymore. And I was like, people have lost their jobs, and but
it's all about perspective. I mean, there's no part of their lives where they're not famous. So naturally that like their perspective changes a lot for the worse a lot of the time.
I feel like every celebrity should have one appointed person on their team who is just a regular person whose job is to like remind them what regular people want.
Yeah, like a publicist.
Yes, but less PR oriented and more just like, here's some thoughts, here's an update, here's an educational lesson on like how the people are feeling. And maybe they should switch out so these people never get too used to fame, to being proximate to fame. It should be like a temp job.
You're right. It should be the absolute like lowest rung of person who does it.
It's like an intern. Yeah, Yeah.
That'd be a crazy internship. It's like the below being the celebrity's assistant, you're the intern that reminds the celebrity what their assistant's life is like.
I think that would change celebrity culture. I think it's very weird because I think like we're also seeing celebrity culture change with like TikTok and like so many like micro influencers and all this stuff too. And so it's just kind of crazy. Like these like children are becoming like 100 million followers. It's like freaking.
Well, not yet 100 million.
I think she has hit 100 million now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But I mean, I don't know how to feel about Charli D'Amelio, to be honest. I did feel bad for her in the Trisha Paytas drama from the last week.
Paytas.
Sorry, that's certainly not how it's pronounced.
Trisha Paytas?
I've never heard. I'm going to keep saying Payates because I like it.
Trisha POTUS. Yeah. Trisha, President of the United States.
Regardless of what, and I agree the video was obnoxious of like the sister vomiting with the snails, but one, it was staged. Like the chef did not feel bad. The chef did it on purpose. And two, regardless, like to have her like sobbing on TikTok live, talking about how she like doesn't want to do it anymore and how it's so hard. Like, even if it's all like, you're so privileged, relax, like those are still her authentic emotions in the moment. Yeah. And you just have to feel bad for a 16-year-old girl who has so much pressure on her. No one should have that. It's
also like she's 16. And so I think she doesn't have like the rights to do what she wants to do all the time. Like, it's not like she's a legal adult even to like be able to say what she wants to say. Like, she can't. And I remember even like when Black Lives Matter was happening, she was like, she kind of had this like crisis where she was like, I had to post content on this day, but like I didn't want to. And like, I feel like I would have been sued, but like I didn't want to because it was like Blackout Friday or whatever. And like I wanted, and then she posted that stuff. And like I feel like she like wants to be a good person and she like wants to be like in touch and down to earth. Like I can tell she's trying, but it's when you become that famous, that young, like your brain is not fully developed until your mid-20s. Like she's nowhere near that point. She's not going to like be normal. There's no chance that there's 100 million people following her. That's nuts. That's so I cannot comprehend that many people. And it's definitely crazy. It's just like sad. I don't like Dixie that much, but I like Charli.
I agree that I don't like Dixie that much, especially with this new, like, I don't know, pivot into acting and music where she's not talented at either. We didn't need it. But yeah, I definitely agree that I feel bad. But at the same time, how bad can you feel? Like, you have to weigh the privilege and the feeling bad, because in one hand she has everything, but in one hand it's so hard. I don't know. There's no winners, I think, in celebrity, really.
Yeah.
Would you rather, would you rather, would you rather? Let's play a game of Would You Rather.
Actually, this is kind of related to what we were just talking about. So Charli D'Amelio recently came under fire for like being ungrateful for saying that she wished she had 100 million TikTok followers and she only had like 90 something. And yeah, I was saying 100 million is like a fucking crazy number. Would you rather have 100 million people following you on social media, but like not be in charge of like what you were able to do, or like have to live in complete hiding, like start a new life, change your name, but like be wealthy enough and like have enough access to do whatever you wanted, but like it had to be in like secret?
Yamini, this is like, there's never been an easier would you rather, in my opinion. I'm like desperate to move out into the middle of nowhere with like an incredible amount of money and live my like primitivist, agricultural, like I just want to live on a coast where I own the whole coast and never have to see anyone I don't like. Yeah, so certainly the second option for myself. But what about you?
I would say that these both sound really, really, really horrible to me. This is hard because I hate both options. 100 million people. Listen, I want to be a little bit famous, but I don't want to be 100 million TikTok followers famous. I want to be like verified on Twitter famous, you know? I don't want to be in Snapchat news stories every day famous.
Daily Mail. The day I see you on Daily Mail, I'm deleting Snapchat.
That'll be a turning point the day I'm on Daily Mail. Oh, I don't want to give up my life and go into isolation. I need like validation of people, and I feel like I like being around people. Like if anything this quarantine has taught me is that I am just desperate. I had surgery and I was just chatting up the nurse because it was like so exciting to have someone to talk to, you know? He was like, you're so funny. And I was like, thank you so much. Like, you're so nice.
Thank you.
You're my friend. You're my bestie. So I don't know. I I think I would pick the second option just because I think I could adjust to that more easily. And I could, I think 100 million people watching me at all times. I think that would drive me more nuts, a little more nuts.
I know. I can't imagine having like literally no privacy.
Yeah.
It's a deal breaker.
I saw a Daily Mail article that was like, they caught Dixie picking her nose. Like that's how much she's being watched.
I've picked my nose like 3 times while we film this podcast.
So
I would be dead in the water.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I do so many weird things in public. Like people are gonna catch me. Like I adjust my like butt crack in like my pants all the time. Like, you know.
Sorry, I think if you had 100 million followers, you wouldn't be able to tweet all the content about your bowel movements.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. People will unfollow me every time I tweet. I poop, but
really, they do?
Oh yeah, totally.
I haven't unfollowed you yet.
No. If you do. Yeah, but it's like people who follow me because they like think I'm just like a hot girl, you know, and then they're like, she poops? Yeah.
Girls poo?
No, they don't. Sorry, I insinuated that. Yeah, okay. So same. All right, second would you rather? So Happiest Season just came out, which is like the Kristen Stewart Christmas movie.
But apparently it's not happy at all, I'm reading.
Yeah, it's the first lesbian Christmas movie ever though, which is cool. But when I watched the trailer, I was like, this is so disgustingly white. And as you and I are both, we're both queer, and we're also both members of ethno-religious minorities that don't celebrate Christmas.
You're right. You're so right. You are spot on.
You're Jewish.
For the viewers at home, I'm a Jew. Okay.
You're Jewish and I am Indian. And I want to know if you would rather be the token queer in a really straight cinematic universe or the token religious minority in a really Christian cinematic universe.
I need to... I don't know what a really Christian cinematic universe looks like.
Hallmark
movies.
Like
Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I could not be a Jew in a Hallmark movie, so I would be certainly I would be a queer in a straight movie. I don't even know what I would do. Whenever like I'm in a room with like a lot of Christians, can I say that on this podcast?
Yes.
Whenever I'm in a room with Christians and they're all talking about their Christmas celebration, I just start thinking about like the holiday itself.
Yeah.
And the birth of Christ and the Virgin Mary. And I'm like, I know my religion is whack, but this religion's also whack. And none of you admit it. At least I think Jews know. When like Christians talk about their Christmas celebrations, I can't handle that. So yeah. And especially if you're the token queer in a straight cinematic universe, you get to have such a hot partner because there's no one else that's queer to compete with.
Or though you have to be with someone because there's no one else queer.
But I feel like they always have hot partners in the movies.
Yeah, that's true.
What about you?
I would do the same thing. I think Christmas really... So I went to a Christian preschool.
Did you?
I did. And I remember having not so fond memories. So my mom was pregnant with my brother at the time. And so we used to go to mass every Wednesday in school. And I remember like not wanting to go because I was like, my family isn't Christian and like I didn't vibe with the Christianity and I just felt weird about it. And I was like, nah. And so I was like, I told my teacher, I was like, I don't really want to go to mass this week. I was like, I felt really brave for saying that, you know? And she was like, how dare you when your mom is pregnant with your baby brother or sister, like you don't want to give that kid blessings. Like you don't want to give that child a good life. Like it was like shaming me. Listen, I am the best sister ever. Rohan could not have it better, okay? I did not appreciate the shaming that went into that. I did not like it. And obviously not all Christians are like this. I know so many wonderful Christians and people of all religions. There's good and bad people. But I always felt uncomfortable for that reason. And also, I get very depressed around Christmas time because everyone has like these lofty plans and like whatever. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here bored in my house and like, well, now everything's closed, but on Christmas, like everything fun is closed usually. And I was like, what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to eat Chinese food if you don't celebrate Christmas. That's what
and watch movies. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I didn't love it. So I wouldn't do that. Also, being the token queer in a really straight cinematic universe was just my high school experience. So,
oh, yeah.
I've had that experience and I know what it's like. If it's not a homophobic cinematic universe, if it's just straight, it's fine, I think.
If it's liberals that are being like, yes, queen.
Yeah. Or, I mean, mostly for me, that was just like a lot of really annoying questions. It was like straight dudes asking me like for help, for advice on how to like eat their girlfriend's pussy. That I can deal with. My female friends being like, if you don't kiss me, like you're mean. But
you're making me happy. I was so deep in the closet in high school.
Yeah, and also this is why I'm pushing back on the thing about you'd have a hot partner. My high school, no shade to my high school ex-girlfriend. We just, under no circumstances would we have ever been together if we were not the only two semi-normal queer people that were out in our high school, you know?
Yeah, you got it band together. We've been so consistent today. I think that's a testament to the vibes we're sharing.
We are sharing vibes right now. We have had the same answer on everything.
I know. I know.
I think this is my first time ever having the same answer on everything with a guest.
I didn't cheat, I promise. Especially since I answered first to everything.
Yes. Yes. No, you didn't cheat at all. I want the listeners to know this was pure, authentic vibes connection and not any pre-planning on either of our parts.
I did like, I altered with the cosmic energy a little before this. I was talking with my girls in the stars and I was trying to send some star energy your way. So, I mean, I'm glad it worked.
I have gotten really into spirituality in this quarantine.
That's good.
I have this, I think you've seen her too, the TikTok astrologer that we were talking about.
I love the TikTok astrologer.
So for the people listening to this podcast, my roommate from college sent us this TikTok astrologer. I will link her in the description of this podcast. You should all watch her TikToks. She was doing a lot of great predictive work on the election. It all came true. Yes. And she does amazing analyses of like people's star charts and it's incredible. And I just, and also she's like hot and so like just cool. And I love her. Also when Parade Underwear sent me my free underwear, they sent me a tarot card deck with it. And so I've been playing around with that and that's been fun. And I've like been doing them for people every now and then. And I got an app about it. So I've been doing like a daily card reading for myself. And it's like a cool, interesting way to ground. That's
super cool. I want my tarot cards read.
But so this girl that I used to know is doing tarot card readings and she charges like pretty cheap because she's still like just starting off. And she did it for me in September. And the week I was like asking basically, I was like, I'm unsure like what I should do. Like, should I focus on comedy right now? Or should I like put all my energy to like trying to get a desk job somewhere and whatever. And she basically like the reading was like, this is the most flexible time you have. Like you don't have to make the decision now, like lean into what you want right now. And like, you can make a firm decision later. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on this stuff right now. Like whatever. And she also was like, you're going to meet a man with a grounding earth sign energy. And I did that same week.
Oh, what sign is he?
He's Capricorn. Which is interesting. I've always been anti-Capricorns. I've always been anti-cap. Capitalist.
No cap.
Capricorns. I don't like either, usually. But it's good. I think it's good. He grounds me and I excite him. You know?
You're exciting. You're right.
He's exciting too, but I do need to be with someone grounding. Otherwise I will be up in the clouds. So yeah, I have been more into spirituality. It's fun. It's
It more than anything, it is fun. I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I do it the most.
Yeah.
I don't, not that I necessarily believe, like, I do not think that the day I was born really does influence all decisions, but it's super fun to look into it and see what you do relate to and what you don't relate to. And I think a lot of people are like quite scared or nervous about mysticism because they think it's anti-science and that anything that isn't scientific is bad.
Yeah.
And I'm very pro-science, wear a mask, etc.
Yeah.
But even if something isn't like real or true, doesn't mean you can't find pleasure, joy, satisfaction, or comfort in it.
I also think the way that I view it, it's not like I'm abiding my life by the principles that I'm learning from astrology or tarot or whatever. What it's doing is like kind of giving me a thought prompt, and it's like allowing me to filter my own thoughts and behaviors through it in a way that like will help me understand my own motivations and my own actions and like better understand myself. I'm not like, not gonna talk to X because we're not compatible. Like that's not what I'm doing.
I don't talk to Virgos.
Virgins. Virgos are virgins. Yeah, I think it's definitely like really fun. Like I've loved, playing around with it in quarantine. It's not like my guiding life principle, but it is like a fun little way to look at the universe. So.
Truth or dare?
Truth or dare, Joseph?
Truth.
Tell me a story about the weirdest date you've ever been on.
Weirdest date I've been on. Oh, I had just a date where the vibes were so weird. And then there's a little funny story that happened after.
Okay.
So I actually don't remember this guy's name, but we met on a dating app and we were the summer after first year of college, and I was staying in a dorm in New York while I was working at a hedge fund while I briefly flirted with finance. It was bad. I didn't like it. But he was staying in a different NYU dorm. So I went to his dorm to like pick him up basically. And then we walked. We had Mexican food. We talked a lot about Melodrama by Lorde because that had just came out. And like I'm a very like the first like moment I see someone, I can usually assess if I like them or not. And as soon as he stepped out of the dorm, I was already like bad vibes. But I couldn't leave because I
cancel on it then. Yeah.
Yeah, and my Canadian niceness made me feel like I had to really like encourage the date. So it lasted like way longer than it should have. I was not into it, but we just we walked, we got Mexican food, we drank whatever. And then we went back to my place and he was like, can I come up? And I was like, absolutely not. You can go home. And we didn't talk. But a week later, there was another guy I'd been talking with who I would end up like kind of dating for a little after. And I got a Snapchat from him. And it was just a picture of this guy that I'd had the vibe off date with, like a selfie that he took from this other guy's phone. And I was like, I'm quite immature now, but I was particularly immature then. So I felt like really upset by it. And I was like, oh, he's telling me he doesn't like me. They were talking about me, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized when I saw this guy the next time that he had no idea what had even happened. The guy had took his phone and looked at his Snapchat. And so it was like all well and resolved at the end, but it was this off vibes date that then like brought me a lot of emotional turmoil when he Snapchatted me from the boy I actually liked's phone.
That's so interconnected.
It was spooky.
What was it about his vibes that were so off?
He really felt like he was like posturing the whole time. Like he wanted me to think that he was like super, because he was like 3 years older than me, 4 years older than me. He wanted me to feel like he was like super mature and bigger than me.
Icky. Well, glad that's over.
Yeah, that was just 3 years ago.
Yeah. Okay,
truth or dare?
I'll do a dare.
I want you to ask Rohan about his love life.
I can text him. Should I
call him
on the phone?
Oh, that would be fun.
Speaker?
Yes.
This is my little brother, by the way.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How's your love life going?
Is this for your podcast?
You still haven't answered my question.
Alone and just alone.
That's relatable to a lot of people right now, I'm sure. Thank you for your input.
If you're following the podcast, go follow the podcast. You're welcome to a seamless self-promotion.
Thanks for helping me out. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay.
He's so supportive. He's so nice. He has such good hair. How can he be single?
Alone. Alone and alone. Okay, yeah.
That was, Rohan, he the voice of the people in many ways on that call.
Oh, he really
Truly
is.
representing a big part of the world in quarantine. I mean, not you anymore, but
the world. I mean, I am physically alone, even though I'm not emotionally alone.
But you're emotionally connected.
But I'm sure a lot of people can feel what Rohan's feeling, and I feel for that. Truth or dare, Joseph?
Okay, I'll do a dare. I'm quite nervous. I hate doing things that make me uncomfortable.
Okay,
I'll do a dare.
I want you to text whoever was the third person that you most recently texted a really impassioned paragraph, basically telling them how you recently tried tasting one of your boogers for the first time and it was actually really delicious tasting, and you don't know why. It's why do people think it's so bad? We should normalize it. And I want you to read out the text that you said.
The person's Adrian. Okay. Adrian, comma, I have something to say, period. I tried something new.
Sounds like it's sexual.
That I did a little as a kid, but then stopped. Not sure why I stopped, because I have to say I love it. I'm not ashamed anymore to say that my new favorite food is boogers. Boogers with a little salt.
You're kind of salty, I feel already.
Chicken, even in a soup.
It's like a crouton.
Boogers go with everything, or even alone. I especially like when they are a little yellow. Best regards, Joseph. Okay, so now it's me again. Truth or dare?
I'll do truth.
Who's the? Oh, I don't know if you'll be comfortable answering this, but who's the best sex you ever had?
Okay, yeah, I can answer.
I hope it's not what I think it's going to be.
It's what you think it's going to be.
Oy vey.
There's a boy I went to college with. For all you podcast listeners,
I'm so upset. I'm honestly distraught.
He and I. Oh, we were each other's first straight sex. Did you know that? Fun fact.
I didn't know that.
He was also bisexual. We had only prior to that had the intercourse, proper, full intercourse with members of the same sex. This was our first straight heterosexual sex encounter. He and I were friends for a while, and then we hooked up drunk at a party once, blah, blah, blah. It was very toxic and turbulent. And then again, my senior year, we had some more sex. He's not the best person, I would say, but...
I mean, I was dreading that answer because I did have an inkling it was coming. I'm upset to learn.
I don't think it's going to be the best of my life. I think there's better sex coming, but I think to this point, I will say though, I'm giving this with a kind of a preface, is that I don't think I have had that much or that good of sex.
Well, I'm very excited for you to one day have sex with your current boyfriend, because hopefully that will be the new best. Okay, truth or dare? Truth.
What was the last thing you searched for when you watched porn?
So I have a new thing I'm doing with porn now.
Okay.
Where I don't know if this is embarrassing or not, but I consume a decent amount of it actually on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's weird. Okay. Yeah. So I don't follow these accounts, but I do know them, and I can search for them, and then I go through their likes. Whoa. To see a good selection, because people post content, but an individual's content can only be so varied, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to find the people who have good timelines, because they're liking a really good array of content. That's really smart. I don't think this is embarrassing. I think that you've cracked the code, and it's also free.
but it's like ethically posted because people are posting their own.
It is. If fans at home want to know someone who in case you want to start yourself consuming this way, at Growing Bottom on Twitter. It's mostly man-on-man content. So if that's what you're looking for, you can get it there.
For bisexuals, either male or female, I would recommend, I don't know the exact name of the account, but it's Remy Duran and his girlfriends. Remy from MTV Are You the One? He and his girlfriend. They have a good range of quality for all bisexuals. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's important to have range.
I guess.
Is your question like what categories do I like?
Yeah.
I don't know how much I should out myself on this podcast. I like age gaps a little.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer.
So, yeah, good answer. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That is fine. Yeah.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
The answer to this could be no, and then you don't have to elaborate further. But it's a two-part question.
Okay.
Do you have any like ex very good friends? And are you willing to dish some drama about them?
I do have ex very good friends. I do, but I'm
you don't have to name them.
Oh, okay. I can dish some drama actually about an ex very good friend. So I had an ex very good friend from high school. It's not really about him, but it's juicy and it involves him.
Yummy.
So he in high school worked at this juice bar place, basically.
Literally juicy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And his manager was like this older man in his 40s. They're both gay, the older man and my friend, or ex-friend. But I remember like I briefly was like trying to get a job there. So I met the manager and, my friend had like told him about him or whatever. And then the manager left that store to go manage another store, like got promoted in some way, like through the corporate ladder. And this was the summer after our senior year of high school. And one night, the manager was married, had a husband. The manager one night, like a month or two after he had left our location, DM'd my friend, like sent him like nudes, like was just like come over. And this man was like 40 something, like we were like 18. And he was like,
but you were 18?
Yeah.
You guys were 18? Okay.
We were 18. Legal, but very weird. So that was like a whole thing. And I forget, I feel like he did like give a little back, but at some point he was like, this is creepy, and he stopped. But it was a very interesting like saga. Truth or dare?
Okay, dare.
I dare you.
I'm like visibly stressed.
I dare you to DM like anyone from elementary school that you went to elementary school with and say that they were your first crush. Just like tell them that, whether or not it was true.
I'm still in touch with a friend from elementary school who knows she was my first crush.
I remember my first crush. I don't know where he is in the world now. He moved to Japan.
Really? Good for him.
First grade. Yeah. His name is Luke.
Luke. Do we know what Luke is doing now? Oh, I mean, sorry, you're taken. No need to pursue Luke.
No need to pursue Luke, but I have thought about him before. I wonder what he was doing now. And I mean, he moved to Japan after first grade, so I have no clue.
Oh, wow. It's been a while.
Yeah. Who is this person that was your first crush?
Well, sorry, her name is Madison Brecht. She is cool. I mean, I have good taste, I think.
Yes. What are you DMing her?
I DM'd Madison. I know you know this, but you were my first crush in elementary school.
Okay. Beautiful.
Okay. Truth or dare?
Dare.
Do you have any worn shoes near you?
Yeah.
Describe it. Describe the smell.
Okay. This is the shoe. It's a
this is a chunky heel.
Huge platform heel. I would wear these to like sorority formals and stuff. And then like once Joseph carried me on his back home while I think I was wearing I may have been wearing these shoes that night. Let's see.
We got off the bus not 5 blocks from Yamini's home. Yamini was too tired to walk, so I did carry her on my back.
Too tired, too drunk, too in pain. It was very kind of you. Not horrible. It smells like fake leather. And like I think I would say my foot sweat smells better than my armpit sweat type thing. Like there's no
Ooh, fun.
there's no body odor vibes from it. I'm just getting kind of like a musty smell. Like it's.
She keeps going back in for more smells, by the way. So
Yeah,
you're
it's not
getting
terrible.
good.
It's not terrible. It's terrible smelling. The toe is definitely the smelliest part, which makes sense. I think toes are kind of gross. Like they're all.
They are. They're so close together, but with space between them for air.
Yeah, and so they're like it's like the foods that touch on your plate that you don't want to touch. That's what the toes are.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's my foot smell. The foot fetish people are going wild right now, knowing I have nice smelling feet. Congrats to you all. So satisfactory.
Yeah, I'm happy with the show. Listen, it was great on Zoom getting to see it. I'm sad the fans at home won't, but you did a good job explaining.
They can imagine the smell. Okay, truth or dare?
Truth.
Who is someone that you have in your life that you pretend to like but don't actually? You don't have to say a name. You don't have to, I don't have to leave in the name, but I want you to describe the person.
Until recently, and now I don't pretend to like them anymore. It was, I mean, I won't say her name, but the wannabe fitness influencer.
Oh, yes. Yes. There is a girl who I went to college with who posts a lot on Instagram about fitness in a non-self-care-y way.
It's not inclusive. It's not body positive. She did just get a boob job to go to triple D's, which I think is an insane decision, but it's one that she made.
You should never do a boob job that is like many, many sizes away from what you naturally have. Make sure you're in it for the right reasons. If it's really about self-love and wanting to feel better in your body, that's great. But if you are doing it to look like someone else or to be someone else or,
or to win a bikini contest.
Yeah, for those other reasons, then maybe think about it a little more. So go forth and have a boob job, knowing those things. I wish you all well.
That was such a great series of mantras to end the podcast on.
Thanks so much for being on this podcast. I'm so glad that we agreed on everything that was asked.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Of course. I hope that you and your family have wonderful Hanukkah and non-denominational holiday time.
Same, not for Hanukkah, but non-denominational holiday time.
Yes, and thanks so much for coming.
Thanks so much for joining our pillow fight. See you next time. Pillow Fight is a production by me, Yamini Nambimadom, with music by Greer Baxter. Thanks for listening.